So what's different at Achavanich is that the stones are arranged in a horseshoe pattern. And this is a 4,000-year-old setting of stones, thought to be a unique in the northern part of Scotland, normally because the broad face of the stone faces the centre, but not at Achavanich. Here the edge of the stones is facing the centre. So each stone had to be painstakingly cut from the bedrock using very simple tools in those days. But what was the purpose of them? Well, there have been discoveries of cremated human remains beneath the peat. So that's one glimpse to a possible function. But were the stones used to mark the remains of important people, or did the stones represent human remains as a sacrifice to the gods? That's with those stones. But then if we look over to the back, we have a chambered cairn over here on the hill. You may just be able to make that out. There it is over there. The amazing thing about the chambered cairn is it's 1,000 years older than the standing stones. So we know with chambered cairns that they were used as burial places and as a ceremonial tomb for bodies. But the fact it was sitting there for 1,000 years before the stones show up shows you the length of the history that we're dealing with here. Out in the moorland. And also interesting to note over here, if we take a look over this way, is that at the loch there, Loch Stemster, that used to be take up quite a bit more area than it does now. And that was drained about 200 years ago so that the farmers could use the muds on the loch floor as a fertilizer to improve the poor grassland for the stock that they had. And even a few decades ago, there would have been the traditional black cattle, synonymous with Caithness, thriving in the area, and there would have been more families living here as well. Even just over 100 years ago, around 1910, farmers on this farm here, one particularly who was known as Willie, was a cattle dealer, and he would drive his cattle all the way down to the market at Muirvord. Now that's about just to the west of Inverness, but a good 100 miles away from Caithness, and he would drive them there himself. So quite a hardy character for sure. So that was a bit of a long saga, I know, but hopefully you found it interesting here at Achavanich. And the sun is beginning to come down a bit over there to the west. It's such a quiet and isolated but beautiful place too. So hope you enjoyed that. Have a good day.